Today, we are going to look at the Q&A app in Microsoft Teams. If your company or organization has enabled it, all you need to do to get started is to create a meeting and add the Q&A app as a tab in the meeting details. Once I click Add, I will be taken to another screen, which will allow me to choose whether or not the attendees can ask new questions and respond to conversations. Organizers can moderate attendee conversations, but once this feature is turned on, it cannot be turned off. I'm going to disable it for a moment and then click Save. If you did not turn on moderation while setting up the tab, the organizer has the option to turn on moderation later. One potential reason you may want to turn on moderation in the Q&A app is to ensure that you stay on topic for your meeting. The meeting organizer or participants can go into the Q&A tab and start a discussion or ask a question before the meeting has started. For example, the steering committee at my company is testing the Teams Q&A app. I might want to ask them, should we enable it for everyone in the organization? Why or why not? And then I will go ahead and post the question so when the meeting gets started, we can kick off our discussion. Those who are invited to attend the meeting will be able to see the question. They can click the like button to upvote it, or they can post a comment. As the poster of the comment, I have the option to edit, delete, close conversation, or pin conversation. Depending on how you have your meeting options set up, the attendees of the meeting can delete, close, or pin your conversation. If the meeting organizer does not want the attendees to have that option, they will need to go to the meeting options and select who can present. The default is everyone. You can limit it to specific people or only me. And then click Save to update your settings. If we go back to the attendees view, you can see that they no longer have the three dots to modify my question. However, the attendees will have the option to ask their own questions and post them before or during the meeting. Now that everything is set up, it's time for the meeting to begin. I've navigated to my Teams calendar and I'm joining the meeting. The one thing that I would like to point out here is that you can only interact with Q&A during the meeting from the desktop application. If you log in from the web application, you will not see the Q&A option in the meeting control bar. When I open up the Q&A panel, you can see the question that I posted before the meeting as promised. Anyone who joins the meeting has the ability to upvote the question or add to the conversation, but as the organizer, I am the one who can edit, delete, pin, etc. I can also start a new discussion or ask additional questions. At the top of the Q&A pane, you see the three dots for more options, which allows you to rename the tab or delete it and remove Q&A from your meeting altogether. However, the meeting that we've joined is all about figuring out Q&A. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it in, and then I'm going to ask a question of the group and say, well, people already ask questions in meeting chat. Why should we use Q&A? My colleagues who are in the meeting with me can use the reaction icon to give it a thumbs up, heart, smiley face, etc. They can comment if they want to and respond to the question. So for example, my colleague Jessica is saying, well, this will help us to moderate the questions, which you can't do in chat. Now that Jessica has posted her response, the other attendees can react to it or reply. The poster of the question can edit it, or they can choose more actions and delete their post. At the top of the Q&A panel, you have some filters which default to all conversations. You can switch it to all questions, or you can switch it to unanswered questions. And if you're like me, you may have wondered what's the difference between a discussion and a question. The only difference I could find is how you filter this Q&A panel. When you put it to all questions, anything marked as a discussion will disappear. Now we're going to take a look at moderating the conversations. I went back to the meeting details, selected Moderate Attendee Conversations, and clicked on Save. Now you have 3 tabs: In Review, Published, or Dismissed. Because moderation was not turned on at the beginning of the meeting, the In Review and Dismissed tabs are empty. I'm going to go back to the meeting, and as Jessica, I'm going to ask a question and say, "Can we talk about lunch now?" Now when she clicks on Post, the question does not automatically appear in the Q&A tab. The organizer of the meeting is the moderator, and they can now see a question on the In Review tab. This is slightly off topic, so maybe I want to dismiss it instead of publishing it. When I click on Dismiss and then navigate to the Dismiss tab, you can see the question about lunch. I might later decide that it is a relevant question after all, and I can restore the question or publish it. If you navigate to the 3 dots, you also have the option to delete the question. And now you know a little bit about using the Q&A app in a Microsoft Teams meeting. I hope you found this video useful, and if you did, please press the like button or consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.